Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 3. We're talking about Alyssa and Chris. If you're looking for my recaps on the other couples, look down in the description box because I do separate videos for each couple. So this is about Alyssa and Chris. And the title of this video is I Didn't Get Not One Thing I Asked For. Anyway, if you've been watching my videos, these are my two liar people. Liar, liar, pants on fire. That's what I call them. And every day, more and more lies get exposed. I know a lot of people out here is feeling sorry for Chris because they've already figured out that Alyssa is full of it. But I've been telling you since the beginning, they're both full of it. It just so happens that we seeing Alyssa's stuff first. Well, y'all might be seeing Alyssa's stuff first. I see both of them from the very beginning. I've been seeing through these two since the day they came up on my television screen. But anyway, let's talk about this recap of this week because there's a lot on them because it's almost doggone the whole show was about them. So I got a lot of notes I took. First of all, we open up with Alyssa being in the bedroom with her girlfriends, the normal little thing they show. And, first thing out her mouth early in the morning is, I hope he's hot, I hope he's cute. Just like I said in Michael and Jasmine's video, if we took a drink every time we heard the word vulnerable, we'd be drunk and lit AF. Now, you know what? With these people, if we took a drink every time Alyssa said she wanted a cute guy, we'd be toe up from the flow up, okay? So anyway, put your drinks away because if you start drinking every time she says she wants someone cute, you're going to be too drunk to make it through the rest of this video. But anyway, so then I also talk about, Chris, he calls himself the serial monogamous person, which I don't know if he thinks he's bragging about that or what. I don't know what's worse, a person who hits it or quits it, or a person who strings women along and then dumps them after 2 and 3 years. That ain't no better. What? Anyway, so now, this is another part where we figure out how Chris is a big put on. So his friends, let me tell you, his friends, they telling everything. And you know what? Friends like this, you don't need no friends. These are not friends of Chris's. I'm telling you, they did nothing to help his image, his brand, or anything. In fact, they exposed his brand even more. So first of all, he says, oh, well, I know you're nervous. You might as well admit that you're nervous. And if you look at every time they talk to Chris, they're always telling Chris, even though I know you're presenting one way, I know the truth. Which goes back to what I always tell you about Chris. He puts on. He is not a transparent person. He shows you what he wants you to see, but he's someone else differently in the background. So anyway, he's talking to his friends or whatever, and they're saying, I know you're nervous. Why don't you just talk about it? Pastor Cal comes on and saying the reason they put these two together is because they have honest communication. No, they don't, Pastor Cal. They don't have honest communication. They talk, they speak, they're very articulate, but that don't mean it's honest. And you got fooled by it. These folks is, I didn't think so. Alyssa goes on, talks about none of her friends are married. And I got to say, that's tough. When you're the first person in your group of friends to get married, it's actually a little bit tougher on you because you don't have anyone to sort of bounce married life off of because all your girlfriends are still single. So that is a tough position for her. But she was saying that she's been single now for 2 years. So I guess that whole story she told about when the guy ghosted her after they went ring shopping, which I told you back then was a lie. He ghosted her because she wanted a ring that was too expensive. And he was like, I can't afford that ring. And then he ghosted her. That's the real story. But she didn't tell you that story, but I'm telling you what the real story is. But anyway, then they bounce back again to Chris. And he's talking about how he has to be cool, calm, and collected because, he handles multi-million-dollar deals. Boom, another lie. You do not sell multi-million-dollar properties. When someone sells multi-million-dollar properties, that means means more than $1 million. Now, I know Boston's expensive, so I know it's pretty easy to have high-end homes there. But when we saw you in that house you was selling, I'm telling you right now, that was not a multi-million-dollar house. I go to Boston often because one of my best friends lives there. So I know it's expensive. I know all them little areas they were showing on TV by the water. What's it called? Faneuil Hall or something. I know them spots. But he always likes to stretch the truth. Oh, I negotiate multi-million-dollar deals. So if I don't stay cool, people in the deal will get nervous. I don't like him. He just puts on way too much. So once again, y'all taking drinks every time Alyssa mentions physical, well, take another drink, because she started talking about it again. She was talking about how, the way he looks is super important to her. Personality is super important to her. I mean, they edited it as she must say it a 1,000 times. Now, sure, they're editing it, but she still got to say it 1,000 times for them to have enough footage to have it shown 15 different ways. So she was saying it a lot. Anyway, I thought they had gotten rid of giving the gifts, but I guess they didn't, because Chris gave her a gift and he gave her a note, which I thought was cute. But here's the interesting thing. We didn't see the gift. They read the note. The note was really sweet. And she started crying. Alyssa started crying over reading the note. But what we never saw? We never saw the gift. I wonder why. I wonder if this is a whole Haley. What was Haley's fiance name from last year? You get the gift, you don't like the gift or something or another, because they never showed us the gift that Chris got her. And I thought it was a sweet gesture that he did it, but we never did see it. Now, let me come up on another lie that Alyssa told. I know you guys are like, dang, you in it on her. Okay, so first of all, Alyssa decides she's going to walk herself down the aisle. But here's the thing. She said she didn't want her father to walk her down the aisle because it was too far for him to walk. Well, he walked to the front row. So what's the difference between walking you down the aisle and walking and having to walk to the front row? He wasn't in a wheelchair. He didn't have a cane. And I said, okay, well, if you didn't want your father to walk you down the aisle because he couldn't do it physically, let's roll with that, Lindsey. Then why didn't your mother walk you down the aisle? Lindsey didn't want anyone walking down the aisle. She wanted to be the center of attraction. Because most people don't choose to not have anyone walk them down the aisle because they don't have anyone. They don't have a mother or a father or a sister or a brother. People be getting uncles, friends, brothers. Anyway, not Alyssa. She tried to tell us that her father was too incapacitated to walk her down the aisle. And we saw that man walk into his chair. And her mother walks. So, like I said, they tell you things so you believe certain things. But when you start thinking about it, it doesn't make any sense. And that's why I don't believe anything that the two of these say. I really don't believe them. So anyway, what am I at other notes? So then, Chris starts going on with speech again. I want her family to trust me for integrity. That's another hint. When you got to keep talking about this kind of stuff, it's because it's a sensitive spot in you, right? I would never meet somebody's parents and go, oh, I really want him to know that I'm a woman of integrity. You know why? Because I walk with integrity. I don't have to put forth any additional effort to be that, because when they meet me, they will see it. But yet he talks about everything as if it's calculated. Like, this is the impression I want them to have of me. So this is what I have to do for them to have this impression of me. He's so calculated. Once again, take a drink, y'all, because Alyssa's about to mention looks again. And she's talking about the physical. She don't want no snaggletooth man. And as soon as they do that snaggletooth, what they show? Snaggletooth Chris, because I don't know no other way to describe his teeth. They are kind of snaggletooth. He definitely probably needs, I don't know, some veneers. I don't know, some different one, because his teeth are snaggletooth. And they got her good. I think she might have been set up with these Married at First Sight producers. They might have really set her up. But anyway, take a drink, because she mentioned it again. So anyway, she keeps talking about she's happy with what she sees and all this when she walks down the aisle. So of course, the wedding starts, she walks down the aisle, and as soon as she turns that corner and she sees that man, you should see the look on her face. It is like complete despair. She's like, what the hell? She is not happy. She gets to front of that altar and she is crying, and it ain't happy tear. She is crying because she knows she got the exact opposite of what she asked for, and she is unhappy. He, of course, is being nice. He's telling her she's beautiful, that her dress is beautiful. He's saying all the right things. I'm telling you. And he probably does believe that she's beautiful, but I just know who Chris is. So anyway, they start talking about the vows and her, this is the part when the friends get to say, you'll know certain things about her. So one thing her friend said about, you'll know when she's unhappy because of the look on her face. Well, as soon as that, you see the look on her face, unhappy. And he sees it too. It's his first hint that she does not like him. And he sees it. He's probably going to pretend like he didn't see it. But I saw the look on his eyes. I stopped the video to look at it, and I saw it. He saw right then and there that she is not happy with the way that he looks. His family goes on and say that he's driven. He's a workaholic. He works a lot. I know, because that's all he talks about is his career. They both said vows. be honest with you, Chris's vows to me almost sound like a speech at a corporate dinner. It was not that anything was wrong with them. It just sounded so well rehearsed that I was like, these just sound like something he Googled somebody else's vows and he put them in here. It really was nothing personal. It was like, I mean, you can't say they were bad vows, but I was like, they just didn't pull at my heartstrings. And Alyssa's was so impersonal. I mean, she could have been reading the vows to her dog. I'm telling you, they were so impersonal. I was surprised they kissed, y'all. But, he asked her, can I kiss you at the end? They did kiss. They walked down the aisle. And she ain't smiling. She ain't smiling walking back. Because you know why she ain't smiling? She is not happy. She's not happy at all. So anyway, they start asking, he starts talking off camera to him. This is the beginning of a spark. He's all excited. They start talking in a little sidebar. They're sitting down and talking. He's like, what's ACE? I was wondering what ACE stood for. I guess that's her initials. Alyssa. Middle name starts with C, and I forget her last name, but it starts with an E. And the first thing Chris asks her is like, what you do for a living? See, he's so corporate. Your wedding day is the first thing he asks for. And I know you get to that, but I'm just like, it's just how he is to me. He's always about, I don't know. I can't stand it. What do you do for a living? So, so he starts talking about what she says. She's social media manager for a construction company. And then he goes in about how he's VP of Frisbee. And she is not excited. She don't like the way he looked. And you could tell right now, she don't even like his conversation. And so, they talk a little bit there. And so he's really excited. He's talking about, how it's going to be an amazing love story. He's all hyped off camera, very optimistic and all these other kind of things. They're at the wedding reception. They're click, people are clicking the glasses so you can kiss. She's like, oh no, I'm not kissing. No peer pressure. I don't want to have any peer pressure. She doesn't want to kiss him. He's talking about how beautiful she is. She's like, I'm not doing that. And to backtrack a little bit, before they even sat down to eat dinner at the reception, they were taking the pictures. And the lady, the photographer, was trying to get her to lean on him and, do some cute pictures. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. She didn't want to do anything at all. I mean, even if you're not attracted to a guy, you mean to tell me you can't pose for a picture? I mean, you can fake everything else, Alyssa. Why can't you fake a picture? But no, she didn't want to do that. They're talking to her off camera, like, do you like him? She's like, well, I need some time to process. Girl, just say it. Just say you don't like him. We already know. Just say it. You don't like the way he looks. You don't like nothing about him. Just tell the truth because I already know what's going on. She's like, well, this wedding is super stressful and I really need some time to process it and think about it. She's starting to panic because she's realizing, what have I gotten myself into? Early in the day, the mother is asking, Chris is asking the mother, do you think that she likes me? Does she say anything good thing about me? And the mother's like, oh yeah, she says she likes you. So in another part, when Alyssa was talking to Chris's friends, like I said, friends you don't need. But these three amigos, these three men, let me tell you, they were spilling the tea on Chris. And like I said, they were spilling the truth. And basically what they were saying about Chris is condescending. He thinks he knows everything. And what they were telling him is if he gets condescending, just don't say anything, walk away and all that kind of stuff. Because basically he likes to pretend like he knows everything. He's at the top of his game, all that. Because that's what condescending people do. They put other people down in order to elevate themselves. Like I said, he likes to elevate himself. So anyway, they're telling him this stuff, and this is starting to really upset Alyssa. So Alyssa off camera is like, who wants to be with that? That's horrible. Who would want to be with a person like this? And everybody's probably wondering, why is Alyssa so quick on the trigger with Chris? Because I have a theory about them. You know how they know a thief knows a thief, a cheat knows a cheat? Alyssa knows Chris because Chris is a lot like her. She sniffs him out early when maybe other people would blow it off because she recognizes it. Because a lot of it is what she is. I believe Alyssa is also condescending, right? And I think she puts people down as well. I know they want to portray her as this kind person because she rescues dogs. First of all, condescending people and mean people do nice things all the time. So just because you get a dog doesn't mean you're a nice person. I don't believe it. I don't believe it about Lindsey. I think I think Alyssa is mean and I think she's cold-hearted. And I think when she started hearing those friends of Chris talk about some of the weak spots and cracks in his personality, she started to realize dang, we can't have two people like this in the house. She don't like him. She don't like him. So in the end, you know, the night's coming to an end, the wedding day's coming to an end, and she's holed up in a room with a producer, and the producer's like, well, you got to go out there. You know, he doesn't know what's going on. He's on the outside sitting on some couch like, where's my bride? Where's my wife? What's going on? Because she's holed up in a room, and she's trying to pretend that the reason she's so upset is because of what his friend said about him. Girl, you didn't like him from the minute you turned the corner. But now what you're making this all about is what his friend said. This becomes the bone you're going to chew on and you're going to use, because it's not going to be about what your impression is of him. It's going to be about what someone else said about him, because you don't want to look bad, but you're going to want to say, I'm taking off what the other people said. Even if they said it, even if you didn't like it, that doesn't mean you stay holed up in a room like you a freaking hostage. So when she finally comes out the room and she talks to him, she doesn't even tell him why she is so upset. She just says, oh, I need time to process stuff. And, you know, she talks about she just wants to talk to him and be honest, but she's not really telling him. He's still confused. She hasn't given no concrete information. You know why? Because the real deal is she's not physically attracted to him, and she doesn't want to say that. So what she's going to hold on to is what his friend said, and she's starting to talk about, I didn't like the words that were spoken. I thought she was saying words Chris said about her. No, she's talking about the words his friend said about her. Everybody else in this show, they friends have said some stuff about the people or the bride or the groom, and you don't see nobody walking away. All of a sudden, Alyssa, you walking away because of what some friends said? Girl, get a grip. I don't believe it. They both the same. Bye, y'all.